This video is brought to you by Simply Safe. More about them later in the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to Mighty Car Gingium. Sorry, Gingium. This is the Gingium YouTube channel. Today we are working on the miniature Eclipse and we are doing the interior. Now the car doesn't have an engine. There's no way that's right. It's not even finished on the outside, but I wanted to change the pace. So we're gonna be working on the interior. What we have to do is we have to dye the carpet. We have to put the seats in, do all the wiring, put a new radio in. We gotta do all the interior lighting. We gotta do a headliner. We have to paint the firewall, and we have to make a cloth thing for the firewall. So it's gonna be a little bit of something different. We're gonna be doing some, what is it called? Upholstery. We're gonna be doing some upholstery. Now, why am I opening a box of brakes? Well, we need to get the car on the ground so we can roll it off the lift so we have access. So these are the hopefully correct brake parts for the rear of the car. So these are the front wheel drive factory brake rotors. These are the all-wheel drive factory brake rotors. Just slightly bigger if you look.
Just a little bit.
About an inch total and bigger in diameter, plus a little bit thicker. More braking power, baby. Oh no, these are for the front of a car. Oh, they're not gonna fit. Psych. One of the major things we have to do in here is actually paint this firewall. Before we start painting, we're gonna go ahead and cut the headliner to fit, because obviously we've blocked off some of the roof. We are gonna rewrap this headliner. The only problem is like this headliner is made out of this foam. Like we start tearing it apart and like, it's not gonna be happy. So I don't know how we're gonna get the old headliner off of the actual cardboard. Plus it's heavily damaged over here. Maybe I shouldn't have done the interior yet. 4.5 inches have to be trimmed.
Oh yeah, when we wrap that thing, it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good, dude.
First layer of Steal-It is on the interior, and now we can get back to work on the headliner. We did manage to get the old foam headliner off, which was awesome. As you can tell, it looks like there was a fire in this car, or maybe this headliner came from a different car, but it's all black over here and totally destroyed. We went ahead and put tape on the back, as you can tell, to kind of hold it together. And now, we're gonna fiberglass it. This is my first time attempting to use fiberglass, and I was an idiot and forgot to get a paintbrush, so I'm using this. So, here goes nothing. That kind of sucks.
Dude.
I have an idea.
No. Well, that'll be more effective for sure.
In no way is this headliner going to be perfect, but it's now at least not going to fall apart. It's very, very strong over in that corner. It's not flat, but it's strong. So I guess let's try to start putting the material on it. For the material, we got this vinyl. It matches the seats almost perfectly. The only problem about this stuff is that it's not stretchy, so might look pretty bad. This is a learning experience for me. Just know that I put my love into this headliner. Even if it doesn't look good, my love is in it, okay? Alright guys, it's done. Tape it on, boom.
Self-tappers and everything.
Self-tappers coming up, right up.
Self-tappers and zip ties.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that good. It's got a lot of imperfection. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Dude, go farther away. Well guys, the headliner is done and it is flawless. Literally perfect. For the first time ever wrapping something, I'm so good. I'm just so good. In all seriousness, it's okay. I'm really happy with the way it went on and the way the glue worked. The glue worked great, whatever this stuff is. But here's the thing, we've learned a couple things. Number one, the glue reacted with the foam in some weird ways and some weird spots, so it made bubbles in the actual foam headliner. That wouldn't have been a problem if we had some sort of foam backing in between the material and the actual, like the hard part of the headliner. Because with this, you can see every imperfection in the actual foam part of the headliner. You know, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Looks way better than the gray falling apart headliner. It'll match the seats, it'll match the rest of the interior. And I think once it's up in the car, like the majority of this area that you see and you notice is good and it's flat and it's smooth. So I gotta cut out the holes for the mounting situation, and then I guess we can attempt to throw it in the car. Guess what time it is? It's sponsorship time. This video is brought to you by SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is the security system that experts trust. US News, PC Magazine, and Popular Science have all ranked SimpliSafe as the best security system in 2021. I like SimpliSafe because it's easy to set up, it's incredibly powerful and protective, and because it is budget friendly. Now you guys probably know that I have SimpliSafe here at the shop and I just set it up at my new house. SimpliSafe has loads of high-tech sensors to cover every door, window. They've got things like entry sensors, smart locks, which you can control through the app, indoor security cameras, outdoor security cameras, both of which have a wide field of view, high definition. One of my favorite things about SimpliSafe is the app that they have. I can view live feeds of all the cameras. I can scroll through all the recordings from each of the cameras. I can lock the door, unlock the door, turn the security system on, off. Super powerful and super easy to use. This season, SimpliSafe is celebrating Father's Day. I know, as a not at all real dad of 2 cats, having SimpliSafe is awesome. For instance, right now, Audrey is out of town. I'm away from home most of the day. At any time during the day, I can hop on one of the cameras, check out, make sure the cats are not dead for some reason, you know, they didn't burn down the house or something like that. So it's awesome. SimpliSafe gives me huge peace of mind. So if you guys are interested, you can save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month for free. Go to simplisafe.com/Gingium to learn more. I'll have a link in the description and up there in the cards. And huge thanks again to SimpliSafe for sponsoring this video and making all of these builds possible. Guess it's time to get back to the video. So now we're gonna go ahead and make these gray carpets black carpets. Now I originally was going to dye the carpet with some like RIT dye. Problem with that is that in order for it to be like a good black, you gotta put it in a big tub of hot water for a really long time. Getting a tub big enough for this thing that would also be able to be heated. It's just gonna be too expensive and a hassle. So we're gonna try the Duplicolor vinyl and fabric paint. Process is pretty much painting the carpet and then scrubbing the bristles so that they don't get too stiff and so they actually are flexible still. Finishing up this interior is just a lot of little tedious stuff. One of which we just finished up, which is a rear view camera mirror camera. For one, this thing didn't have a rear view mirror. The previous owner snapped it off for some reason, maybe not on purpose, but now it's got a rear view mirror that has a camera. It's connected to a camera back there, and it's got a nice wide field of view. It gives a much better view than just actually looking back through the window. So that's cool, that's in. We have a speedometer coming in, and then we got some of the LEDs for the back coming in. What are we gonna work on next? I think we'll put the shifter cables and such back in. Pretty good. This here back looks great. So we're getting all the factory plastic interior to fit back in. This piece has a big gap because it's where the slider for the automatic belts went. So now I am fabricating some plastic now. Voila. You might be thinking, you know, we changed the gray carpet to black carpet, changed the gray headliner to black headliner. Are we doing the entire thing black? No. So I do like the two-tone look. And if you look, you know, like the dash is gray and black. So I didn't want to turn everything black because A, that would be a lot of effort. And I like the gray and black. And so with that being said, we're repainting some of these trim pieces gray because they're all sun faded, as you can tell. So we have some charcoal gray, just Rust-Oleum, not flat black. Let's light some paint. You know all that stuff we were talking about using gray for the two-toned? Well, this gray is the darkest gray they had. It's too light. So I'm gonna use black. plastic trim is painted, ready to go back in. I've got new plastic clips for everything, so it will hopefully actually be held in properly and not rattle around. But we all know old Japanese cars, they're gonna rattle, unfortunately. Woohoo! Yes, sir. Let's go. So with the window in and the side trim all in, we're gonna go ahead and make a upholstered plate that kind of covers the majority of the firewall, goes up to the window, down to the floor. Not that the firewall looks bad, and it's gonna be covered by the seats anyway, but it'll just make it look a little bit nicer, feel a little bit more homey. We're gonna use the same material that we used on the headliner, so that will match. We got this particle board, we gotta cut it to shape, and then just wrap it with some of the vinyl, and then we're gonna rivet or riv nut it to the firewall. Well, it ain't perfect, but it made this interior look way better. I wish it was wide enough to cover up this little crack on each side, but what can you do? That's the last thing we had to drill stuff for, so we can go ahead and put the carpets back in and just reassemble the rest of the interior. Before we put the seats in, we gotta go ahead and put these harnesses in. Now, I've already put them in once in the car when we drove it for a little bit, but you guys haven't seen it. They're these beautiful red and black buckle harnesses, 5-point technically, or 4-point technically, from Corbeau. These things look sick, but they have to go in before the seats go in, so let's throw them in. Wraps around the harness bar, bolts to the stock location. Simple as that. I was wrong. The seats have to go in first so that this can go through the loop of the seat. first things first, we got some floor mats for the car. New black ones.
Yes.
The second thing has to do with the carpets. Now originally we just wanted to paint the main carpets, right? Well, the center console has carpet on the side of it that used to match the carpet on the bottom, the gray carpet. So it's like, okay, we should probably paint that, because otherwise the nasty old gray carpet next to the nice new black carpet, it's not gonna look good. But then if you paint that, the only remaining gray carpet is here on the bottom of the door. So now, I think we're gonna paint the center console and the doors. We're diving down the rabbit hole, but that's okay. I want this thing to be perfect. It's already so sick in here, actually. Oh, actually I shouldn't say that. One of the other last things, not the last, RGB LED strips for the engine bay. RGB too, I said that right? Yeah, little controller. Living out my racer dreams here. This was one of the things I wanted when I first thought of this build. I was like, it's gotta have some cool lights in the back. We're gonna kind of test wire this up, make sure the lights work. Then we're gonna rewrap this back chassis harness in that nice braided nylon stuff. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, sneak peek for the next video. Man, these things are so light. You don't realize that. That's crazy. 85 millimeter. 85.5 millimeters. Much tighter. One of the last things, a radio, but not just any radio. An Toto S8, which is like their newest model, Wi-Fi, GPS. Unfortunately, in order to install this, we're gonna have to undo some of the interior and then redo it again, but no worries. Well, the radio works, looks awesome, but only 1 out of the 4 speakers are currently functioning. So, guess this car's getting new speakers. So we'll get speakers for the car tomorrow. For now, I'm going to go ahead and install this thing and finish up actually putting the radio in. This right here is an AEM GPS speedometer, same one I have in the truck. Unfortunately, the Eclipse it's a cable-driven speedometer. I don't know of any easy solution to extend or get a custom Speedo cable made. So we're just gonna get rid of that and then put this in the gauge pod. We had one open, space for a gauge anyway, so I think it's a win-win. But this thing is pretty easy to install. It's just Easy to install, hard to get out of the box. I believe it just needs power, ground, and switched power. And then you just gotta put the GPS on your dash. So we're gonna have 2 GPSs on the dash, one for the radio and one for the speedometer. So the gauge works. The speedometer is not gonna work until we're outside of the building because it can't get in contact with the satellite, but everything should be all good with that. So now, last thing, speakers.
Your car goes ting ting ting. My car goes psh psh. My car goes psh psh. My car goes psh psh. My car goes psh psh.
Well, that is working great. Wi-Fi works, YouTube's working. That ATOTO is awesome. Speakers sound pretty good. And so, interior's done. Although it didn't turn out absolutely perfect, I learned a whole lot during this process. I had a lot of fun. It was a change of pace. And the end result is really awesome. It's about pretty much everything I wanted it to be. I think that's gonna be a comfortable, practical, high-tech interior for the mid-engine Eclipse. The next video, we are doing the motor. And, you know, depending on how things go with rebuilding this thing, as long as the bottom end's all good, I'm hoping by the end of the next video, that thing is running and driving again. But knock on wood. Yet again, if you guys have forgotten, we're gonna be drawing the winner for the mid-engine Eclipse once it's finished, which will hopefully be in a few days. I'm sure by now I probably have already posted a time in which we're gonna do the live stream to announce the winner. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Besides that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on Patreon. If you wanna become a patron, you get early access to the next video, access to exclusive pictures, posts, and access to exclusive series like Gingium After Dark. But that's it. See you in the next one. Thank you again to Simply Safe for sponsoring this video. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Car goes psh psh. My car goes psh psh.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah, that sounded actually really
It
good.
goes hard, dude.
It goes real hard. I'm just gonna keep listening, man.